Hi, I'm out here with an NTC Diesel Tech, and we're about to do our video brake section. So we're going to start by first chalking the front wheel, bearing down the truck, and jacking the vehicle.
Alright, right now we're lifting it, and then it's going to go on jack stands.
Hello again. Now that we have verified that the truck's ready to work, we have chalked the front wheel, aired down the system using purge valves for the main tank, and jacked and placed jack stands under the rear axle. We will now begin working on this wheel. This has a service brake. We will not be caging the spring brake. We are about to take the slack off the slack adjuster and then use our air tool to remove the wheel and drum brake.
We're in the process of removing the lug nuts on this wheel, as he is about to demonstrate the process of doing.
Okay, now we gotta back off the slack adjuster. What you gotta do is put this tool right here, push it to pull this pawl out. Now, you gotta get over here, get on this little square drive, and buzz it off. All you gotta do is run this all the way back till the brakes peel themselves in so the drum can slide off easily. Now, you just got to inspect the drum here for heat cracks, any cracks, scaling, anything that'd be bad. This drum's pretty good. Got a little bit of surface rust around this edge right here. A little bit of surface rust around here in this section. But that's because this truck does a lot of sitting around. So it probably sat a few months like that, but it'll be fine. 3 or 4 heat cycles using the brakes, it'll be gone fine. This drum is still good for a few more changes.
Okay, so now we're going to begin removing the brake shoes. So first we're going to start by removing the springs. A good way to practice doing this is to take a big pry bar, stick it between the hub and the spring, push down, and out. Again, finding a good leverage point where it's secure, and then jump out. There we go. And release.
Alright, so what we're looking for here is no excessive glazing or cracking in the shoes, which this one looks good. And then you also want to check on the side to look for wear and rust jacking, which is when the organic material of the pad peels up because rust has gotten under there and disrupted the metal, and if that happens, the shoe needs to be retired.
Okay, now what we're gonna do while we're in here is we're gonna check the spider. Make sure it ain't cracked, broke, nothing that doesn't the way it shouldn't be. This one looks good, dirty, but it looks good. While you're in here too, take a peek at the wheel seal. Make sure she ain't leaking. This one looks like it's been replaced recently, which it has. This one looks good, seated good, no leakage. Now, you go down here to your S-cam. Make sure you don't got a lot of play. This one's got barely nothing. It's got slight in and out play. That's fine. That's within tolerance. Also check your tube. Make sure there's no rust holes all the way through. It ain't bent, broke. Make sure the grease fitting's still in there. This looks all good. This one looks good. Spider looks good. No cracks, nothing. And the anchor pin is not broken, still there. So it should all be good to go. And should be able to throw new brakes on there.
Okay, so if we were going to replace the brakes, brake shoes and blocks, they would typically come in a set with new springs and new rollers. Since we're not going to be putting new equipment or reman equipment on, a good thing to verify is that our rollers are not out of round or overly corroded. Another practice would be to put no C's on these faces. Never on the actual bearing face, because that could cause slippage and out of round wear.
Now, put the brake shoes back on. My opinion, this is the hardest part. They never want to go where you want to put them. Top one's usually the easy one. Get that right in there. Fun part, get the spring around the cam. In there, this one in here. Fun part, getting this one, sit down in the cam, over here. Fun part, just trying to get that roller on that cam without smashing your fingers.
So there are multiple ways in which you can take off and put on springs. One way that I personally prefer is with the needle nose pliers. Essentially what you'll do is clasp it somewhere down around here that you can get a good purchase on and maneuverability of the hook. Take it and you latch it on the back here. Shoes will want to kind of move around a little bit on you. And what I like to do is take my bottom leg, support the bottom shoe so it doesn't really move around. I'm going to readjust this. Using leverage, both hands, try to get over it so you're not just using your arms, using your entire body weight. Press down. Now, doing the rear one is a little bit difficult because it's hard to get your head so you can properly see that it's lining up. But there you go. And you can just give her a little love tap. See it to spring the rest of the way.
Alright, so now you're going to pop a squat and pick up the brake drum. Pick it up. Slowly slide it on. So you line it.
Wheel
Lugs.
studs.
And it slides on just like that.
Now we're putting the super single back onto the hub.
Alright, so now that we have the truck on the ground and planted, we're going to torque the wheels. You don't have to go in a start pattern once all the lug nuts are already ran down.
This application is going to get 450 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay, now we gotta do what we did basically in reverse from the first step, which is instead of loosening the slack adjuster, we're tightening it back up. Okay, so you gotta get this wrench on the square drive again. Just buzz her till she's tight. Basically, you run these down until they're nice and snug, like so. Then you back her off 1/2 turn. So doing 2 1/4 turns. And there you go. Slack adjuster's all adjusted and good to go.